All right, well,
Not
we
yet, at
see the
least.
packs.
We
Shark
do.
Hunter has 3 different hound packs, so I hope you like hounds. Or you can take the Rhino
Exactly.
spec. And Fengfeng taking the Econ card of
Indeed.
Fang Sledge. Fang Sledge has just always been a very stable starting pack.
In my opinion, it's the strongest defensive starting pack. If you think your opponent is planning on going aggro, I would
Yeah.
take Sledge Fang every time on defense.
And it looks like
And
it very well
wow.
could be aggro. And it looks like we will get to see some hound gameplay here because this is the Amplify Specialist, and often where you put your amp cores indicates what your plan is, and they are going on to hounds.
Yeah, keeping one back, maybe gonna put on the Stormcaller before he sells the other one.
Yeah, or perhaps just saving it for the first drop, which is somewhat common. Like if you get a level 2 unit or a Farseer or a Typhoon or something, it's efficient to put the small amp on it. And
I don't know if
small,
I'm expecting aggro if I'm Red Hair here, or if I'm Feng here.
yeah, there are Stormcallers, which you often would not think is going to be aggro. And the small amp actually kind of a relevant item on the Hound because of the attack. It allows it to one-shot crawlers into of the same level, even with enhancements.
True. There's no crawlers on the board yet. In
Yeah.
fact, okay, we see Fangs coming out with the Hounds as well.
And
That's
it's
not what I expected,
Marksman.
actually.
Marksman for Fengfeng. They're decent at killing hounds. You know, it takes 5 shots, but it's better than they are in any other shaft type unit.
That's true.
Notably, no crawlers on either side, so there is a potential for crawlers to appear in the free units, which is always a pretty impactful unit drop.
True. Not one you see very often, because crawlers are probably the most common unit in Mechabellum.
Yeah, and like most common round 1 deploy. Like usually people will prioritize packs with crawlers, and if their pack does not have crawlers, they will buy them on turn 1. The Stormcaller trying to say, hey, why'd you get rid of my friend? I'm the best unit on your board. Taking the round down and nearly
Very
leveling.
impressive. He
I guess
says, I don't
maybe you
need
only need
100
one.
supplies. We win the round anyway.
And one of the hounds
100.
levels already.
No crawlers in the unit drop, but
Yeah,
lots of interesting options.
Arclight, Phoenix, Wasp, Scorpion. The Arclight is level 3. Wasp potentially looking decent. Both players do have Fangs, but Fangs aren't the most stable way to clear a Wasp. So they both will take it.
They're both doing the same thing. They both see an
Yep.
open tower.
Yeah, this almost like a prediction from Shark Hunter here because you know your tower is quite open, and maybe Fengfeng will do this Wasp play, so it's a nice call out to essentially do the same thing.
The
And
Fengfeng decides to beacon his lost crawler pack to the tower. He could get it and pretty much sidestep the
oh yeah,
enemy
true.
formation, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and this MAMP was not used, so this is just a completely even duel. Kind of an RNG battle. Marksman contributing slightly.
True.
So Fengfeng wins by 2 Wasps. But Shark Hunter going further into the Hounds on the right and taking that level is going to win the right side. At least for
He
now.
does not tell the Stormcaller. Says, okay, that was an amazing Stormcaller round 1. We're going to keep it a little longer.
Yeah. Marksman taking out Tower, though, going to help clean this round up. And it will go in the way of Fengfeng. Small damage, though. And this Amplify Specialist was a high health starting pack.
Compared to the very low health starting pack that Fengfeng got.
Yeah. Heavy Armor. Subsidized Storm, ER Phoenix, and Subcrawler the other options.
Sometimes you don't want to see items as Amplify Specialist because you
Yeah,
start with 3 items that can be awkward to find good homes for additional items that you pick up.
yeah, exactly. You're still waiting for something to put this third small amp on. So heavy armor, maybe feeling a little redundant. We'll take it anyways. And we see both
Sure.
players committing further to that offside push, and Shark Hunter now deciding to put the small amp on the Wasp. Does that matter in a Wasp duel?
I'm not sure it does, because the Wasps do two-shot each other either way, it looks like.
Yeah, yeah. But it will matter now that there's a Mustang added.
Yeah, Wasp duels are pretty well known for not really having useful breakpoints. You can take
Yeah,
any tower enhancements you want, that's not going to matter.
yeah.
Still, how is that level 2 heavy armor sledgehammer ever going to die?
Yeah, where did that... Oh, it just leveled up naturally, I see. Yeah, there's nothing on the board that can really kill it. The Hounds are given a good shot. They do have range now, which is a very important technology on the Hound if you ever want to use it for its weapon.
Yeah, so Fuji, you've been playing a bunch of hounds on this patch, I think.
Yeah.
How do you like to play hound pushes?
It's really a snowball unit where you sort of have to be getting levels on them, and your goal is to always make it seem like the Hound isn't the biggest problem. Like, you want to have something else for your opponent to deal with. And usually you want to develop into air late. They pair very well with Raiden and with boats. So your comp is often like Hound, a bunch of crawlers, and some kind of DPS unit. And you want range and mech rage on them. Pretty much always. And you want to take every level.
Okay.
But if you lose tempo and you're like not winning rounds, you just get completely stuffed and you die very fast. So it's a dangerous life to live. All right,
Wow.
improved melting point taken over a bombard or amp core for Fengfeng. That is the late game monster.
Yeah,
They
improved
can,
melting point on defense. You can click the diffraction technology to give it 5 beams, and compared to
yeah,
a normal melter, the increased attack and increased range of multi-melter makes it even stand toe-to-toe with a normal melter at that point.
yeah, exactly. And you can often even fortify towers and put them behind, or just put them behind like the tank line of your choice, which Fengfeng is going into field maintenance on the sledges. A
It's
pretty
this
nice
level
commit,
2
seeing that
target.
they were hard to kill and you have a heavy armor on them.
Yeah, they're impossible to kill now.
Yeah, and what did Shark Hunter just picked up the amplifying core?
Yeah, really stocking up on items this game with the Amplify spec.
Yeah, did it get placed anywhere?
I
Oh,
think
and
he's
Feng sneaking in
perhaps
with a
waiting.
Phoenix.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
play against Fengfeng on ladder, he does this almost every game. These Phoenix
yeah,
Flank does
yeah,
equip jump drive.
yeah. He's been a long time jump drive player, and very happy to take this against anyone who's not playing around it. Keeps him honest. Farseer, Wraith, Sabretooth, and Stormcaller on offer. It's 2 level 1 Farseers, which is what both players go with. And it's armor. That is an early armor on Hound. Hound armor, the least efficient armor tech in the game. But it is, of course, armor is like inherently better when you have multiple bodies because it makes the counters of just hitting them with a large single target unit less efficient. But it's very expensive and provides very little extra health. So it's only really good to deal with the Mustangs. So we'll see how it
Yeah,
works
we
out.
see Fengfeng does have high efficiency ammo on his Mustangs, aiming to kill those crawlers as quickly as possible, and hoping that the sledgehammers will be able to deal with these. Oh wait, not just the sledgehammers. We've got hackers.
Ooh. And a hacker is one of the best counters to armor, because it turns the armor, it ignores armor and it turns it against them. Although, like, maybe less relevant into Hound armor, I don't know. But still a pretty low damage board from Shark Hunter. It's still going to be pretty hard to kill these sledgehammers.
Absolutely. Farseer is not the highest damage unit.
Yeah, exactly. It has like moderate DPS, but it's really more of a flexible unit than a dedicated damage unit.
And it is vulnerable to getting hacked.
Indeed. There is EMP on these Farseers, just a cheap source of EMP to take the field maintenance off of the sledgehammers. But the big heavy armor sledge still living, getting a level, triple gold badges. That unit doing some work for Mr. Fengfeng. Heavy armor number 2.
Emergency time for Shark Hunter here really needs some serious damage, and out come the fortresses.
Yeah, fortresses, level 1. We see the techs are barrier range, double shot, and anti-air barrage.
Okay,
one Farseer
dropping
gets
the
sold. Yeah, no Fang summoning, but there is double shot. Just to have maybe better fortress duels and maybe a little better into war factories.
But I think Shark Hunter is going to be unpleasantly surprised at how long it takes these fortresses to kill these sledgehammers.
Yeah, 2346 or 23,000 health on the level 3 sledge means even without the field maintenance, that would be, I think, 4 shots from the fortress. But with field maintenance, and there are 5 of them, so that is 20 shots. Probably more like 25 or even 30 shots. So they're not going to die.
Sledgehammers are still not dying, which means we're probably going to see a fortress get hacked.
Yeah, the fortress bubbles are efficient against hackers. They do 30% damage into barriers, but Fengfeng does have these marksmen on the board from the beginning of the game that can pop the bubbles. And I think 2 out of that pack of 5 sledges died.
And the other pack is still alive. Oh, just got finished off now.
Yeah, and that will be game.
More than enough.
Pretty clean one from Mr. Fengfeng.
So our winners here, we have Fengfeng and Dillo, who will be facing off in our next matchup.
Yeah, and the winner goes through, and they will both... So now we've been seeing those little zeros under their portraits, representing that they're on a win streak of 0. Now the 2 winners will be on a win streak of 1, therefore earning a bounty. And the winner of this game will claim the bounty from their opponent and bring their bounty up to 2. So throughout this tournament, winning games will build up these bounties. Of course, they'll get claimed occasionally in like best of 3s, so they shouldn't go too high, but the winner of this will go into the next round with a bounty of 2. And depending on how the lower bracket goes, there's potential for someone to actually get a pretty high bounty if they like win. If they like sweep 2 best of 3s in a row, they could have a bounty of 4.